I'm at the frozen shores of Sweden, and over the next couple of days I will be hiking, camping and exploring this remote shoreline. So join me. That's some deer droppings, so if we're lucky we might be able to spot some deer or other wildlife here. Okay, so this looks like a big area which was cleared for forestry. I'm gonna hike along the edge until I get to the shoreline again. So this terrain is actually kind of difficult to walk in because there are just twigs everywhere. We're moving into the forested area again. Much nicer to walk on. I found a game trail now, so I think it leads out to the shore. I'm just gonna continue following this trail and see where it leads. It seems to go along the shoreline. This is pretty cool. I can see a lot of animal activity here. I think it's a wild boar or something which has been digging for worms. Okay, so this ant's nest has been absolutely destroyed. Maybe it's from the wild boars. I think they have dug up and eaten all the ants and their larvae. I'm approaching the shoreline again. I wonder how the view is out there. Let's go and see. Okay, so because it's so misty we can't actually see far, but still this is a pretty cool place. And also over here there are some good trees to set up my hammock, but we're gonna move on and explore some more. Okay, so the ground is fully covered with lingonberry bushes here, so in summer and autumn that would be a pretty good food source. Oh, look at this. Okay, so this is birch bark and it's actually a really good fire starter. So yeah, it's gonna come in handy when we light the fire later. Imagine a paper which is drenched in candle wax. That's kind of how it burns. So it's a good find and there's a lot in the area. Alright, so we've reached kind of a dead end here. I need to get over to the other side. I need to cross the lake here and I need to go on the ice. So there is a risk that it collapses, but yeah, we'll deal with it. Okay, the ice seems to be holding up fine. We're about halfway over. Okay, so this spot right there would make an awesome natural shelter. Yeah, so the ground is basically dry here. If I was in a survival situation, that would be very good find. Alright, I'm getting kind of hungry, so it's time to take a short little break and eat some lunch. Alright, so I brought some cheese and dates. It's actually a really good camping food because it's compact, tastes good, and yeah, a lot of calories. Yeah, we've also got some Norwegian creamed whey cheese. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it really has a caramel flavor. I really like it. Alright, so now I'm finished eating, but I really want to have some coffee as well. So let's just make a quick fire and cook some coffee. Alright, so we had a lot of firewood and birch bark really close. Yeah, it's been like 10 minutes and we got the fire going now. Time to make some coffee. Alright, so the coffee is on the fire. So I'm just gonna sit here and relax for a bit. Yeah, that's good. It's a bit hot, but tastes really good with some coffee. I'm happy that I made a little fire. Okay, so actually I really like this spot we found here. I'm thinking maybe this is gonna be the camp for tonight. But I'm just gonna go around a bit in the area and explore it. Maybe we find something interesting. Okay, so this tree and that tree, it looks like a pretty epic hammock spot. So maybe I'll put up my hammock here later. Oh, look. Okay, we found some more chaga fungus. So I might put it in my drink tonight to make some kind of tea. It's a pretty weird opening on this beer can, so yeah, I think it must be pretty old, maybe 20-30 years or something. Okay, so we hiked from far over there this morning, and our campsite is yeah, behind these trees. Whoa, this was slippery. Okay, so in my opinion, this view here is pretty beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's pretty awesome. The ice has also melted here, so this could be a pretty cool spot for a swim. But yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful spot. Okay, so check out this view behind me. This is also really amazing. Very beautiful. Oh, the sun is really starting to shine now. Whoa. Alright, so that is actually a cattail and you can eat the roots. So in a survival situation that would be pretty good survival food. Okay, so in that forest over there, there's grave mounds or stone circles from the Bronze Age or Viking Age. So I definitely want to check them out. Oh look, an old steel can. Okay, so this right here is pine sap, and if you mix it with crushed charcoal, you can use it as a glue. It's also really good as a fire starter. This little island I just explored would be pretty awesome to camp on, but I'm gonna head back to my regular campground and I think I'm gonna put up my hammock. Okay, so there's birch bark absolutely everywhere here, so we won't have any difficulties lighting the fire, that's for sure. Okay, so the sound in the background is actually from military aircraft because they have a base pretty close to here. Alright, so I'm back at our camping spot and I have decided to stay here for the night. I'm gonna set up my hammock and then I'm gonna take an ice bath. Alright, so the tarp is up, so now it's time to set up the hammock. It's pretty close to the ground, but I think it's gonna be fine. So yeah, it gets very cold if you don't have insulation underneath. I just need to put the under quilt on. Now the hammock is all set up, it's super comfortable. Yeah, this is gonna be an awesome night's sleep out here. Alright, so now I'm actually gonna take a bath. Okay, so the ice is actually really thick, so I'm gonna try another spot. Alright, so that was pretty cold. It's kind of a shock when you first get in, but then it's pretty much alright. I'm back again after the ice bath. So now I'm just gonna relax and read a bit in the hammock. This is very relaxing. I like it. Alright, so I've been relaxing for some time. Now it has become very misty outside. It's time to get some firewood and cook some food. So I'm actually making some chaga tea. It's a medicinal fungus which has been used for thousands of years, and it has a really high antioxidant content. Yeah, it kind of tastes like vanilla. Okay, so I've got a pretty good stack of firewood. I think it's time to bring out the steak. I just tasted the steak and it was absolutely perfect. I loved it. Ribeye steak and fries. In terms of food, it doesn't get better than that. Now I'm gonna try the chaga tea. Well, honestly, I can't feel so much taste, but I feel a touch of vanilla. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot. This is so good. It's getting darker outside. We have some epic adventures coming up tomorrow, so I'm excited, but for now I'm soon gonna wind down and have a good night's sleep. Alright guys, good morning. It's a beautiful day out. I got some good sleep, so I'm ready for a new day of adventures. Let's go and start the fire. Alright, so my coffee is cooking on the fire now. It's a beautiful day, the sun is out. Tonight it was below freezing, which actually surprised me, but I was really cozy and warm in my hammock. Today I'm gonna explore some more. There are some Bronze Age, Viking Age archaeological remains in the area I want to check out. Another interesting thing is you can see much further now. the fog has lifted and it's like a completely different place. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna pack up and get ready to get moving. There's a military base pretty close to here, so you can hear some shooting and you can also hear the military aircraft. Alright, so now I've basically packed up all my gear. But I'm getting really hungry, so it's time for a snack. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, this is amazing. Alright, so I'm all packed up now and ready to explore. So let's hike along the shoreline and see what we can find. Okay, so there's a lot of shooting in the background. It's the military base, which is close by. So this forest is really kind of dark and deep, and there's a lot of moss on the ground. So yeah, it's a completely different place than where we camped. Okay, the ground here is completely covered in blueberry bushes. Okay, so now I'm at the edge of a huge clearing, and that means that we are really close to the Bronze Age stone circle. Okay, so this is actually the ancient stone circle. If you look closely, you can see that there are stones placed in a circle, kind of around the pine. This was done thousands of years ago. So this isn't on the map, and yeah, I'm not sure what it is exactly. Maybe it's ancient. It's pretty interesting. I will continue hiking. We have quite a far hike, but out there it should be a great view of the lake and also a bigger stone circle. I found a game trail here, so this should make the hike faster. I can see the lake again. Let's go and check out the view. Down there I can see a tree which was fallen by a beaver. Okay, this view is actually really cool. I can see all the way to the horizon of the lake. Alright, the sunshine feels amazing here. Alright, so this view is absolutely beautiful. I can see up the shoreline, so I'm excited to hike along it. I can also see an island out there, which would be really cool to visit in summer using a boat or kayak. So yeah, subscribe to the channel to see when I go there in the summer. Oh, and this lake is so huge, so there are so many opportunities to explore the shorelines and islands and go fishing here. I'm so excited to just explore this place. Yeah, it's gonna be an adventure, so subscribe to see when I explore more of this beautiful place. But yeah, now let's hike along the coast. Looks like someone built a tarp shelter here sometime very long ago. Maybe it was 20 years or 30 years or something. But anyway, it's an epic location for a shelter because, yeah, look at this view. Alright, so that's where we're headed. We're gonna hike along that shoreline. So I'm seeing a lot of beaver activity here. I think I can actually see the dam. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's some kind of cabin. I'm gonna go and check it out. Ooh, hornet's nest. Look at the hornet's nest on the ground. Alright, so this is actually some sort of campsite. Didn't expect to find it here. Maybe I'll sleep in it tonight. In Sweden there are a lot of public cabins and shelters like that along hiking trails. So I think this might be used by scouts when they go on campouts. Pretty huge pine tree. Let's move on and explore the rest of the shoreline. Yeah, maybe it is actually a hunting shelter, because I've seen a lot of moose activity and wild boar, beaver. Okay, so this is quite physically demanding. The ground is quite soft and uneven. Oh look, here's an lingonberry. Awesome, here's an old forestry road. That should make it easier. I'm gonna follow this path and see where it leads. Alright, so I can see water on both sides of the ridge. So I think this is some sort of cape. Oh, look at this. Some sort of stone structure. Maybe this is actually the stone circle I was searching for. Yes, this is the stone circle I was searching for. Okay, so where I'm standing now is where someone was buried thousands of years ago, in the Bronze Age or Viking Age. They would put the person's remains and valuables, and they would cover it in stones. From here I can really see a great view of the lake. I will go out to the cape and show you. So I really love this place. It was really cool to explore. And over there we can see some other lands. Yeah, so I wonder what's in there. Okay, so this rock behind me, they don't know when it was made, but it could be like a navigation sign for the ships which were coming in from the lake. I'm out here on the cape. It's an amazing view and the sun is really nice. The water is actually melted here, so kind of want to go for a swim. The rock formations I showed you were actually formed during the last ice age, when the ice slided over and made some rocks spin, so they kind of drilled a hole. And as you can see, the rock is really smooth here, and this was also because the ice was gliding over. Okay, so I have a pretty cool spot for sunbathing here. This is pretty nice. I haven't been doing this for months, but now it's finally getting warm enough. I think it's 10 degrees Celsius or higher. It's actually really nice to feel the sun warming my skin. But yeah, overall this shoreline has been really amazing. I made some cool finds, and I would really like to return here when the ice has melted so I can do some fishing. So I've been sitting here in the sun, but now I'm gonna head back into the forest.